and today I'm super excited to have my first guest of the new season. His name is Mark L. Walberg. He is an American actor. He's a television personality and a television host. Right now, he's the current host for USA Network, Temptation Island. And when things get back to normal, he will be the host of the Price is Right Live traveling show. Good morning, Mark. How you doing, man?
I'm up, I'm awake, and I'm glad to see your face.
I'm glad to see your face too, man. It's always good to get your energy, man. You've always been positive. We go back to the YMCA days, and we just were talking about that, how you missed that. Talk about that a little bit before we get started.
You know, I always laugh that I can't understand why I have such a passion for something I have such little skill for. But I fell in love with playing basketball late when I was like in my 20s, and I started going to Hollywood Y. I'm the worst basketball player on the planet, but somehow that family has embraced me. So we've been balling for 30 years up at the Y, at least I have. I've gotten better, by the way, so don't think I'm weak. But it's far beyond basketball. It's a family. We support one another. We have seen people die, and we have been there together. We have gone through trials and tribulations together, and I'm missing that family quite a bit.
I do too. That's where we met, man. I started going to the Y in 1996. Great bunch of guys, and I miss them guys. And I guess a lot of people have people that they're missing right now, that normal routine that we can't do anymore. So we're having to adjust. And I want to segue that into why I started this show, Moments with Ivory, Waking Up Right with Ivory. I want to talk about things that are positive in the world. You know, like there's so much going on with this global pandemic, and in the United States, we have all this hatred, division. We're being bombarded with negativity on the news, social media. So I just want to talk about some positive things, Mark, and you're the great person to start with, man. So
Thank you.
So let's start off with this, man. How do you get up every day? What is your normal daily routine? Your morning routine?
So I'm married. My wife has a morning daily routine that is monk-like. She's brilliant. I am less stringent, but here's a basic concept when I'm on my game. Before my eyes open in the morning, I usually say a quick prayer, just a prayer of thanks. You know, about 2 years ago, I changed my praying. Instead of asking for things, I just say thank you for things. I don't ever ask God for things anymore. I just say thank you for the things I have. Sometimes I give God my problems and say they're yours today, not mine. But I don't say, hey, God, help me with this one particular thing. I just give gratitude to God. So that's my first thing is thanks. You know, air's coming in my lungs, sun came up today, so that's a good start. Next step is a cup of coffee. It's one of the most loving things I have in my life is that my wife makes me a cup of coffee every morning. And you know what's so funny? Cheers. I got to get mine. Hold on.
Get it, man. I'm drinking my coffee right now.
I'm just going to show you because you've got that grateful cup. And this is a cup my wife got. It says a cup of gratitude. Oh, so that's usually what I drink.
Exactly. And you're talking about gratitude. That's why I pulled this up in coffee.
Yeah.
There you go.
So so I have a cup of coffee. And then 20 minutes of meditation. I do a little transcendental meditation. It's a quiet, easy meditation. And so that's a morning step that when I'm on my game, I do. I find that it's like prayer. We're really religious and we meditate when we're desperate, and when we're not desperate, we forget those things that matter. But and thank God my wife reminds me, it should be a daily routine. And then after that, it's, some exercise or get into Facebook or whatever, my emails or whatever I got to do. But if I can just start with a prayer of thanks, cup of coffee, and some meditation, I usually get off on the right foot.
So what I take from that, man, is you wake up every day, you're very grateful and you're very deliberate about, I want to have a good day. And you know that in order to do that, it starts with gratitude.
What's interesting, though, Ivory, is that I don't wake up grateful. I wake up with a propensity to be anxious and concerned and worried. So it's those steps that get me back to what's real, because my propensity is to be anxious about the world and to be uptight about the world and ready to fight. And I have to consciously do steps to calm down, because when I let anxiety or worry take over, it's not the best version of me. It doesn't help anybody. Yeah. So I'd like to say I wake up sunny and shiny with bluebirds and things like that. I usually, the first thing in the morning is when the weight of the world is heaviest to me. And so I have to really say, everything's okay.
Yeah.
because it's about being in the moment, not in the future. And my wife says all the time, if you're in the past, you're resentful and angry. If you're in the future, you're worried and fearful. And in the now, in the right now, is where everything's okay right now. And so
Yeah.
I have to be reminded of that sometimes hourly.
Yeah. Your wife sounds like a very wise lady,
Come
very
on.
wise person.
Her only
Yeah.
thing that's not wise about her is choosing to hook up with a guy like me for 30 some odd years. But she is,
Yeah. Right.
we are each other's guru. We look at it that way. We are each other's mirror. And she is a really, strong, spiritual, knowledgeable woman. And I have some intuition and stuff that's pretty bright myself. And so we have a full contact marriage. So we get in it. We talk about stuff. We call it out. We get rough and tumble because neither one of us is going to leave. And so it allows us to really express. And so, I owe everything to her. I wouldn't be nearly as okay as I am if it weren't her coaching and support,
Awesome. Awesome. That's a beautiful thing to share and to be transparent about. And I also like how you definitely clarified that you don't wake up grateful. You wake up normal like most people are during these times. But the important thing is that you understand that, you're aware of that, you have support, but you ultimately utilize your tools. And that's what it comes down to. Like when you're going to wake up, you might feel however sad, depressed, worried. But if you use your tools, you can kind of shift your energy and shift results based on in perspective, based on using your tools. So thank you for clarifying that. All right. Moving right along.
Choice. Energy's a choice. You get to choose it. So that's
like
where
that.
I'm at. Yeah.
I like that. All right. So right now, let's keep on moving. Let's go on to the second thing I want to talk to you about. With everything being so, like I said, not to beat a dead horse, because I believe in being optimistic. I trust the process. And with things going on right now, I want you to offer something good that may have happened, some type of awareness, something that happened during this pandemic that you want to share, that happened maybe directly to you, your family, or something that you heard about positive during this time. What came good out of this?
It's just about opening your eyes and looking for what you want to see. So the pandemic ruined so many plans I had made, right? It put me in a financial situation. It was an everyday stress. I was concerned for health and stuff. And then George Floyd happened and social awareness and protest and rioting and looting and everything happened. But out of that came some really amazing things, some people in my life that I had a chance to talk to in a much more intimate way than we do. And just, we as bros and friends, we kind of dap each other up and we hug and we say stuff. Now, the difference is, Ivory, you and me and our circle of friends are a little bit more intimate than a lot of people are out there. But what I did appreciate was checking in with people that I felt like were reaching out and saying, Mark, I love you. I want to let you know that with whatever goes on in the world, that I got love for you. And I was able to express that too. So in dire moments came some real truth that was maybe something that especially dudes don't share with each other too often. So I was grateful for that. I was grateful to join hands with fellow brothers and march for peace on Father's Day with a lot of fathers dedicated to their children. DeAndre was the leader of that.
Whitfield.
Andre Whitfield, and a lot of our friends were there, and I was really proud and honored to be part of that group. So that was a day I was really happy about. And having a lockdown and a pandemic is a chance for you to really look at your family and really connect with them and slow stuff down. And as far as trying to look for positive in what's going on politically, I came with a thought this morning that really kind of made me laugh when I was in the shower. I'm like, that son of a gun president may actually be unifying us in some way. When I see people who were adamantly opposed coming out today and saying, what, this is not okay, this is not okay, there is some unity happening. It may be behind a common enemy, but that often is the case. You are Facebook friends of mine, so you've seen my rants from time to time into the ether. And I have a lot of friends in my home in South Carolina. I'm from South Carolina, and I can't betray, my family and friends back there. So I get a lot of noise and a lot of drama. People all up in my stuff. But
I read them.
But I try to listen. I try to listen, I try to listen, I try to listen. And it's been a challenge. So, I think positivity is that what has happened is the people that are truly friends and truly family have shown up to be that. We've had to lean on each other, and that's positive.
That is. And now, all right, so I want to segue into solutions. Okay, let's talk about anything that you're passionate. I know you're passionate about a lot of things, but if you were the president, if you were the mayor, if you were a lawmaker, if you can change some things, unlimited amount of resources, what is a solution to change what's going on in America or in the world? The platform is yours. Talk to us,
man. Well, my propensity to spit and preach at length, so I'm going to keep it short right now.
Yes.
And I would say this much. Rather than policy, rather than specifics, there's a spiritual and human element that is missing in leadership and is important. All of us want to be heard and seen. That's it. As a leader, if I were president, if I were governor, if I were mayor, I would start everything out by saying, look, we have some big problems, and our solutions will leave some of you very happy and some of you very not happy. Before I tell you what I have decided, let me let you know that those of you who oppose this, I have heard you. I have listened to you. I see you. I have considered your concerns, and I have chosen what I believe is the best choice of action for us. But don't think for a moment that I don't represent you when I choose something today that may not be your favorite choice. And that alone, Ivory, as a father of kids, is what's missing.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not deeper than that. It's also, it's just that. You have to, here's what I can't divorce myself from. And I adamantly have an opinion, okay? But there are 50% of the country, guided or misguided, who believe a certain way. So let me just back up and say landslides give me comfort. Landslides say there's a majority of people that feel the same way. 50-50 splits are scary, all right? We saw those in the 1800s, right? So it's in those times that we have to remember that no matter what you do, 50% of Americans are going to feel disassociated. So it's, and as a father of children, and I put it in that because that's what leadership is to some degree,
absolutely.
Is, look, I hear you. I've taken counsel from both sides. I'm going to make this decision today. It's only one of the many decisions I'm going to make. Tomorrow might be leading in your way, but let me let you know, people, that I have heard you. I will never discount your opinion. I'm your president too. And I will peacefully and lovingly entertain anything you're upset about. And that alone will solve 90% of our problems.
Yeah, I'm clapping to that because that's so real, man. Like, people feel like even if you disagree, I want to be heard. I hear you. You know what I mean? So I love that.
I see you. I hear you.
I validate your feelings. You feel validated. I understood. So I love that, Mark. Thank you. Thank you for that. That was awesome, bro. All right, so listen. All right, we're gonna end it on this though. I want you, because that was a great solution as a leader. I would listen to that because I'm not big into politics because we're so divided, because we're so one way. I like the fact that I'm listening to both sides. I get everybody doesn't think alike, and I'm listening to you. So that was beautiful. I love that. Lead us with some moments of some words of wisdom, some words of healing, like words of inspiration. What do you want to leave everybody with?
I'm doing right now what I do before I walk out in front of an audience. I talk to thousands of people, and my wife, who is a Broadway actress, says, I can't understand how you walk out there without any rehearsal. And I listen. And what I normally do is say, God, I'm going to open my mouth and you talk. Right? Because that's probably better, right? So the solution, and there are no solutions, but if I were going to offer some advice from my seat, is let's all slow our roll. Let's all look into the face of those that we disagree with and be the first to be tolerant. Be the first in the conflict. Here's the thing. If I win, you lose. If if you lose, you're going to have to come back and avenge. And we're going to do this, King of the Hill, forever.
Yes.
I'm a stand for us both walking away feeling like we're winners. And the only way that happens is by taking ego, which is the need to be right, to be vindicated, for you to say, I was the one, not you. And one of us in this conflict has to be the one to choose, I'm not bringing ego to this fight. I want solution. I want peace. And if you want to walk away saying you won this fight and I lost, I'm good with that. I'm happy with that. So be the first to be tolerant. That doesn't mean be weak. That doesn't mean concede. That doesn't mean not fight for justice. That means do what's best, not necessarily what's right. Do what's best for the bigger picture. And often what's best is to slow your roll and be the first one to emulate, to example tolerance. Because I'll tell you what people do in conflict. They mirror what they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
You puff up, they puff up. You smile, it takes a little something out of the fight. So it goes back to I hear you, I see you. And we, men and women who are thinking, who want peace, who have a historical reference of how we got here, the stuff I marched for, the lack of equality in this nation, the inherent systemic racism in this nation, the things that you know I know, I'm going to have to put those here, and I'm going to mirror to you tolerance. Even though you don't get it today, young brother, I can be tolerant of your ignorance today in hopes that you can hear me tomorrow and change your thinking. And that's about all I can say, Ivory. I don't have a whole lot else for you, brother. That's about all I got.
Well, you said a lot, Mark. And thank you for that. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today, to share your heart, to share your mind. You know what I mean? It was beautiful. It was a great conversation, a great way to keep the day going and move the day forward. And what you said about tolerance is absolutely spot on, man. You have to be more tolerant. I like something that Eckhart Tolle talks about. He says, try to see yourself in everything and everybody. And when you do that, you just really, you judge less and you love more. So, you know what I mean? So like, if you can do that, see yourself in everything and everybody, the world will be a better place, but it starts individually knowing that, you know what I mean?
Eckhart Tolle, he's the man. My wife turned me on to Eckhart Tolle, and I've never read all the way through his books, but she has basically taught me everything he said. And
he's awesome.
And I find as a coach, I find as a father, when I'm preaching, what I'm saying, usually when I say God speaks through you, what's coming out of my mouth speaking to someone else is usually what I need to hear to remind me. So
amen.
Almost always when the student shows up, it's for you, not for them. To remind they're the mirror. And as you say, be tolerant, this, that, and the other, you have to check yourself and go, wait, am I eating the same porridge I cooked?
Exactly. Like you said, we follow each other on social media, and I post something every single day, and it's not just to share for everybody else. It's a reminder to myself. Everything I'm posting, I'm telling myself that so I can really utilize those tools and apply that to my life as well. So you're dead on, man. Thank you so much. Tell your wife I said hello. Next time we do the show, because I'm going to be more consistent with this until this pandemic is over with. I want to continue to do this. I want to have you both in there because I want to see the other half. That's amazing too, brother. So thank you, man.
She's in the other room meditating right now, or she'd be on the other side of the screen correcting me and telling me what I missed, because she's spot on, man. She's rougher than me. She's rougher. She's from New Jersey. Like, she comes at it a little bit harder. But
what part of Jersey? She's from?
We got married in Wayne, in North Jersey, right outside the city. She's from Passaic Park. So
I'm from Patterson. I grew up.
You know the Hurricane, the movie, The Hurricane?
Yeah, of course.
That's your neighborhood.
Exactly.
Patterson.
In the movie Lean On Me with
Lean On Me too. My wife was the drum majorette for Passaic High that played East Side.
Oh, wow. And we probably, and I don't know how old she is, so I'm not past that, but I played basketball for Eastside High, so we played against Passaic. So we might have been around that same time.
Patterson, man. Garfield, Wayne, Passaic. Absolutely. And I'm Southern.
So and meets a Southern boy.
A Jewish Southern boy from South Carolina who likes show tunes. She said she hit the jackpot.
Yeah, well, looks at 30 something years later, two amazing kids later, you guys are doing wonderful, man. God bless you, man. And I love what you said about like I remember I asked you that last question. I'm going to pay attention to that. Like I didn't, I said, I asked you a question, you just stop for a second and you said, this is what you do. And that's great advice for people. Before you speak, just stop and listen. And then you allow God to speak. You just got out of the way. And what you said was beautiful, man. So thank you for that. I definitely received everything you said today. Have an amazing day, man. I appreciate you.
I love you. Keep up the fight, and I'm here as your ally for anything you want.
I love you too, brother. Let's talk soon.